This is the Groom Theory Way podcast with your host, Haven Hobbs. It's time to show you the Groom Theory Way. It's time to start the show.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of GT Way Podcast with me, Miss Jewel, Haven the Groomer, and our special guest, Jeremy Fips. JFips.
What's up?
What's up, Jay?
Man, life.
Yeah.
Life, man.
Life,
2024.
All right.
Yeah.
Always.
All that. Yeah.
Always.
Life be lifing.
So, JFips, TV personality,
Mhm.
radio personality, A&R manager, JFips LLC semi-fleet owner and carrier, owner of a Metro by T-Mobile store, owner of JFips Auto Glass Repair,
Yeah.
a serial entrepreneur.
real
crazy.
serious.
Man,
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
it is. Is there anything you don't do, brother?
Man,
Right.
nope. I'm going to find a way to do it.
Welcome to the podcast, man.
What up? I'm with the Barber Gods, man.
Oh
What
my
y'all do is
God.
crazy.
Man, appreciate
The trend. Shout out to Groom Theory. Real quick, you know what? You know how I found out about Groom Theory?
What?
I was going to one of my homeboys from high school, right?
Yeah.
This dude, he was bragging about you. He's like, bro, this girl. He was like, she's pretty, right? But he was also like, bro, look at her haircuts. Da, 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 da. Mind you, he had just messed my haircut up, like literally a few days before. So like he's talking about it, but as he's talking about it, like I literally looked at his phone and kind of like grabbed the Instagram. Never been back to him, and it was like a close friend. So I went to Groom Theory one time, and I had like a great experience.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was just up from there.
Cause
Yeah.
how long ago? He was one of your
It
first
was,
clients.
I was like
Jay,
20.
yeah.
It was like
20 years old?
2021.
Oh,
Fibbs was literally one of my very first clients.
Man.
Not just my first client, but my reoccurring client.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it was like, I'm going to keep going back. He was like my first client. They're like, I'm coming back and I'm going to come back. Like, and he just became like over and over, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a good experience though, because you know the Groom Theory brand. That's like the Nike. Like it's like
Oh,
Right on,
man.
bro.
Like you know, it's like a whole different type of haircut. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So no, that's dope. But no, I appreciate y'all for having me up here.
No, for sure, man. For
Thank
sure.
you for coming. We know you're busy.
Yeah.
We know you're busy. So with that being said, tell me what like a day in a life, like a whole work week, right? You have all these businesses. How do you juggle all of these in 1 week? Like, what's your life like?
Damn. Because when I think about it, it's like, damn, how do I juggle it? But I got a team, honestly. So I got a really, really, really strong team. It starts out with my sister. Her name's Tashara. She helps me out with like a lot of core things. And then I got Amber. She helps me out with more of the stuff on like the Metro end. And my auto glass company is mostly my sister. And then my mom and my other sisters are in it. So it's like I try to keep everything like in-house as much as possible.
That's amazing.
One, because why not? And
Yeah.
then two, it's just like you're just trusting outsiders versus your own kin, right? A day in my week, I never know where I'm gonna be. Like I told you, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for a few days, and then I just found out like, oh, you got a meeting in Vegas tomorrow morning. So it's like I never really know, but I make sure how I do my business is I always make sure everything is like scheduled in advance, but I don't overload my schedule. So like I'll tell like a direct assistant, like, look, I'm gonna work from 9 to 5, and like anything in that hour, like I'll do whatever. Make sure you just got everything scheduled. But after that, I'm not working. Well, I'll just be like, hey, I'm available from 6 a.m. today up until 6 p.m. So I give her like a time schedule because obviously I got like a family as well. So it's like I gotta make sure I'm balancing, both.
Yeah.
So I'll give time slots, and then whatever I can fit in that time slot, I do. What I don't like to do is overwork myself.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
the reason why I feel like I've been so successful is because I have like a perfect balance.
Yeah.
If I know for a fact that I don't want to like overwork myself, or I feel like I'm getting there, like I don't schedule. I don't like, it's not about money at that point. Like my business runs efficient because of I'm level headed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never go overboard.
That's
That makes
the gym.
that makes a lot of sense, man. Because I'm curious because as a kid, there was someone that influenced me, to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I know you're very young, man. Was it someone or something that inspired you to start, just come out the gate being an entrepreneur?
Nah, I was just broke as hell, honestly. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Gotta do it.
My mom, for real. I would just
Yeah.
say my mom. Like where I come from is like I shouldn't like. It's funny that I'm even sitting in this chair right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm not from like a great neighborhood. Like I'm from like a very horrible part of in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I respect her so much because I guarantee I wouldn't be who I was today if it wasn't for my mom. Like
Yeah.
she made a decision to get me out of that area, you know, and
Yeah.
then since then that's when my life kind of scaled. So
Yeah.
I would just say my mom, but like nah. I mean, you look up. I mean, I feel like everybody look up to like, you know, people be like, oh
Yeah.
damn, like, you know, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I never really had that somebody like kind of take me under their wing. To be honest, nah, I never really. Shout out to Slim when it come to like radio, Loose Cannon Slim. When it come to like a radio and like promotions and stuff like that, like he always looked out for me. But like I ain't never really had, as far as on the entrepreneurship side, nobody kind of take me under. I just was messing up, just trying stuff, messed it up.
Yeah.
Like I used to have online businesses and stuff like that. You just try. It's like a trial and error.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
For
I
sure.
remember the JFips clock.
JFips clock, JFips shoes, JFips. Like I used to have a robe. I used to have like all kind of crazy stuff.
For real?
Everything. I used to resell everything, anything.
So you got into like, is that like
Amazon, like
e-commerce?
Yeah,
yeah.
But it was like when it was fresh.
Yeah.
So before, like right now, it's kind of
Saturated a little bit.
yeah, but it is. But like then, like about 8-9 years ago, no one really was like on it really.
Yeah.
As much as they are now, like you
Yeah.
know what I mean. So it's easy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope, man. That's dope, man.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of make me think about that saying like, if you like keep throwing stuff out there, just like trying different business, something's gonna stick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you start throwing all that stuff out there, now you finding like the things that stick.
I'm a weirdo. Like I'm a weirdo entrepreneur. Cause like it's like none of my businesses like I like research them and like, man, that's gonna be something like none of it happened. Like my JFips auto glass repair, believe it or not, this happened a month ago. Like literally a month ago. And my business is already like one of the top in St. Louis already.
Wow.
Somebody, I had a this girl, she was over my house and I'm like, I normally park in a parking garage. But she like, just park it outside. I don't feel like walking over to your parking. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I park, and I never do that. So I parked my truck outside, and they broke into it, and they broke my glass. And then honestly, I called somebody, and I'm like, man, how much? What? Because I had somebody to put the window in for me. So I'm like, you know what? How much would this be just to get the window? And then he was like, oh, you know, just give me this amount, and you can just pick up the glass and get it for me. And then he accidentally told me where he was getting the windows from. So I called the window place and they told me how much it actually was. And I was like, hold on. And then like my mind was just like racing the entire day.
Light bulb went off.
I went straight to my sister. I was like, sister, I got this idea. It's going to get us out the hood. And literally 2 days later, I started the LLC.
That's
and
crazy.
like St. Louis been crazy supportive.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like we doing so many windows a day. It's crazy. So it's like,
So it's a big market. It's a big market.
It's huge. St. Louis,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
get their windows every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy baby mamas, crazy
I
baby
didn't even think about
daddies.
that, man.
Literally the Kia boys,
Oh, yeah.
all of them guys. Like,
Yeah.
and I own a Hellcat too, besides besides my truck. So it's like they kept on just breaking in my car.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I gotta capitalize off this somehow because everybody else getting the money.
Yeah.
Why aren't us black people getting the money? Because most auto glass shops are not black.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to say what race it is. It's just not black. So like, why not have somebody, you know, young in turn get in the business so we can actually like grow and scale, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's lit.
That's dope, man. So what was your first business, man, that you started, and which one, like, what was the first one kind of like, all right, man, you failed, and did it change your mind about pursuing anything else?
I say trucking.
Yeah.
Like I give you some like what makes me laugh about like people just like in the industry period or just like entrepreneurs, they throw out these super high numbers. Like I made $200,000.
Yeah.
That's not really what you like, you know, like you know, that's what you gross, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like so I like trucking. Like it was months. I never forget. Like on March 2022, I probably made like well over $100,000 in 1 month.
Yeah.
Like, in just 1 month. Right then and there, like I almost got like addicted to it, everything, right?
Yeah.
2 months later, like it's like God gives you something and he can literally take it back at any time.
Yeah.
So like I'm literally like I FaceTime my best friend's name is James. I'm like, bro, like I'm not trying to brag it on, but bro, I don't even know how I made all this money. Like the industry, everything is just on the up and up.
Yeah.
2 months later, not even 2 months, the next month, one truck breaks down. The cost of the one breakdown, the part was like $22,000.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
Oh.
The labor
Oh.
was like another $11,000. So all right, let's just say I got 100,000 in my account. Just keep that number, right? All right, boom. So now we're in the 30s, you know. And then another truck comes back. That one breaks down, $11,000 part. and another $6,000 to put in. Then the part wasn't right, but they don't want to give me back the money, so that's just a complete loss. So it was another $6,000 part, and then this tire, and then that tire. So I'm up around like 50, 60 grand at this point. And this is just 2 trucks. Guys, why did another truck break down 2 weeks after that? $7,000 part, and then that part was like it was just crazy. But basically, to make the long story short, I end up having to spend like $70,000 to $80,000 in 1 month. Like I got all this money to me.
Right. But
He's
you
like, nah.
let me get that back,
Let
B.
me get that back. Like, but you see how it been, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was one of them things. So it's like, nah. I would say trucking is like one of the biggest things. Or I now see people in trucking. They'll say like, yo, like yeah, I just made $3 million.
Right.
Like that's some be like I don't care about my numbers. Like
Yeah.
I can tell you like a year, one of the years, I'll give you an example. I made $974,000 and some change. Right.
Yeah.
Did I actually make that? Hell no. My
Yeah.
numbers were off. I didn't know what I was doing. I maybe made like 80, 90 grand.
Yeah.
So like for the entrepreneurs out there who just like,
Wow.
like damn, like no, it
Yeah.
don't work like that. You know,
Yeah.
from insurance to breakdowns to this to that.
Yeah.
So I made $1 million
Right.
and I took home 80,000.
All right.
That's crazy.
I don't feel too good about that.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? So it's like, but them true numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like most people, they wouldn't admit that. They'll be like, yeah, I made $1 million. I made $1 million. You know,
Yeah.
to me, honestly, whether I took home the money or not, like it's like when you from the hood, like it's like $1 million is just like $1 billion in nowhere. So like I made an M. That's just
Yeah.
like on my
Made
checklist.
an
You know what I mean? But at the same time, bro, like, you really ain't do nothing. Like you
Right.
barely made 10% of like your
Yeah.
overall
Yeah.
earnings. So
Yeah.
I would say trucking really humbled me.
Yeah.
Trucking humbled the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
'Cause I remember during COVID, man, a lot of people started, getting into trucking.
hmm
And
And then it got saturated.
yeah,
And then
Now all of a sudden, a year or two later, now like, yeah, man, I gave up my truck, man.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not. I'm glad you're being very
transparent. I'm
Transparent,
probably
bro.
one of the only people
Yeah.
who really I really don't know. And everybody I know that was in trucking, every last one of them are gone. Besides one person, and he got like 10 or more trucks. I don't know nobody with a small fleet like me that's still going. Not one person.
Yeah.
I would say out of 20, probably the 20 or 30 people that are close to doing trucking,
Yeah.
everybody's gone besides one.
Yeah. I think the beauty of being a barber though, I've seen you from like the very, very beginning. I think that's just so beautiful to see where you are now.
Yeah.
And you were like what, 20 when I was
20.
cutting your hair?
young, man.
20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
were
wasn't
20.
21. I was definitely like 20.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
were like 20. So it's like just to like hear you talk about like your trucking. I remember when you was at T-Mobile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so can we talk a little bit about your T-Mobile days? And because now you are an owner of a Metro
Right.
by T-Mobile store.
Yeah.
And that's where you started at a really, really young age. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. I can make that real short. I had found out I made them like $1 million. Like in overall sales, and like the money I was getting was definitely cool for like for anybody, honestly. Because I remember when I first started T-Mobile and I had like a $8,000 commission check. I had just ended like a $9 an hour job, like working in like a shoe store or something like that.
Yeah.
So to get one of them checks, I feel like I'm the best salesperson in America. I honestly think nobody can sell better than me. I've never met
Not
nobody.
even Grant Cardone?
Nobody can sell better than me, in my opinion. And so I was like the number one guy in the whole company. But then I looked at the number, like, because they actually show you, like, they bold enough to show you, like, yo, this is
Wow.
how much you made us.
Right.
We're going to give you 0.02%
That's
of
crazy.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, man, I got to figure out how I can get in one day. And honestly, I moved away from T-Mobile and I met these guys, like my partners now, and they were like, look, we can't pay you a whole bunch of money. But if you come over here, you give me like 4 or 5 years, I'll like show you how to like, invest
Wow.
and get your own stuff going. And I don't know what made me believe them because I didn't know these guys from like nothing. And then at that point, they only had a few stores, so it just didn't make sense. But like this one guy, one of them, he's a great salesperson too. So he really like reeled me in, and everything he said was true. So like I kind of had like help. So like he's like my mentor for sure. So I give him like mostly all my credit for sure when it comes to like my cell phone experience and just like me and wireless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you jumped all the way out there though, like
I took like a $30,000 pay cut just to learn how to do the stuff myself. Because he couldn't pay me a whole bunch, but what he can ensure is that he could teach me. They're not
right.
going to teach you, how to, leave them and make money. So
Yeah.
you want to go to someone who will. Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
That is dope. So is it like a long process to opening up a store like that, or?
Well, I mean, I run under them, but
Okay.
yeah, Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it's like you like a franchise owner type thing. Okay, okay.
Yeah. But no, nah, man, I love it though. I
Yeah.
love it. I love sales, and then the wireless industry is always just something that I've always just been intrigued
Yeah.
about. So yeah, I always wanted to get inside of the wireless industry for sure.
Yeah. So when you got into T-Mobile, when did you do the radio? Did you jump into radio personality after T-Mobile? We was with
And that was
T-Mobile.
before.
It was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hopped out of high school. I went to college. Honestly, I was never like like high school. Like, I was not focused. I'm just be completely honest. It's just like the school loved me so much that like I don't want to say they made the teachers pass me, but it was just like I was just that one student that like did everything. I was always like the host of everything. I always like was that guy.
Yeah.
So it was like they kind of got me through like where I needed to be. But I was just so focused about getting on the radio after high school. So I went. You have to get your internship. You have to be enrolled in college. So I went to like a 2-year course. I only spent like 6 months there. Got an internship at 104.1. I didn't want to be on the radio at first. Like originally at first, I didn't want to be on the radio because I was nervous and I just didn't think I was ready.
Yeah.
And then my long-term plan was to be on radio by like 27, 28. Because where everybody else's the radio station was like, 30 and up. So I'm like, all right, well, like by 27, 28, I'll be on the radio. So like, man, I went into the program and Stacy Static, she was one of the mentors that I had at the time up there. And she told the program director, like, yo, he's good. We need to get him in. And I told the program director, no. But he was like, you know what? Send me an air check. What an air check is just like a whole bunch of commercials, like fake commercials you put together with like a music bed, just like you on the radio, right?
Yeah.
And I sent it to him. And then like the next week, he hired me. So like I dropped out of college and then did just radio, then joined T-Mobile. And I was doing like working corporate while, on the radio. And then that's kind of weird too, because like people come in and be like, ain't you JFips? Like, ain't you to do this on the radio? I used to lie and be like, nah, that's my brother. And people tell me he look like I like him all the time. But yeah, because it's kind of weird, like being on the radio and then like, I guess the people that were on the radio, they're like, they consider themselves stars, which they are. Like, I don't, but like me, I'm humble. So I don't care. Like this radio stuff is cool, like the fame that come with it, but I can still go work my regular job and be okay. Like I'd rather have some money while like chasing my dream than just like, I guess be, just want to be a star. So like, I never took that approach. I didn't care what job I worked, but I still was going to keep my radio and still was going to make my money at the same time.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good you say that, man, because I think a lot of times now entrepreneurs, they decide like just quit everything and just do this without really thinking logically. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you saying, yeah, I keep my 9 to 5 while still doing this as well, that just says a lot about your character, especially now in this world that we live in when it comes to entrepreneurs where people they think it's so cool, but it's hard, man, being an entrepreneur. They don't understand how hard it is, man. You got to wake up and get it every day. You know what I'm saying?
No safe haven, nothing.
Nothing. So can you touch on like, when did you realize like, yeah, I could do this. Like, I'm that guy. I'm him. You know what I mean?
I always been him. I just not. Nah, I say, when did I realize? I say, when I lost all that money in trucking.
Okay, yeah.
And I know it sounds weird because like, bro, how could you, think you something after you done lost all that money? But like, that's when I realized how important a team is, how important paying your employees like is. Like, I always follow a model, right? Like I said, I don't overstress myself. I'm only gonna work this to this time a day, depending on what time I want to work, right?
Yeah.
The thing about it is I came up with a model, pay my employees. I literally pay my employees first. I always make sure my employees are paid.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. If I go and try to start up my own whatever business, right, and I'm still working in corporate, well, if you're paying an employee pretty well, like you're paying them pretty well, they tend to stick out a lot longer. So let's just say you're in a state where like the average person makes $14, $15 an hour, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to pay, a personal assistant or somebody to keep my business going, let's just say $17 an hour.
Yeah.
So, the average person making 15, I'll pay you $17, $18 an hour. And this is just numbers, period. I'm just taking wild guesses, right? But like, I always believe paying someone and then taking a little bit less for yourself starting off and then kind of like just growing your team because I think the biggest thing with entrepreneurs is sometimes they want to take a little too much out of the business before paying the business back. And I believe in the reverse of that, right? I want to pay the business, make sure the business is here. And with a corporate job, you can do so. So that's why I don't understand, to your point, why people don't just work the corporate job or whatever you have, until you're able to, go off on your own.
Yeah.
I always did it and it always worked for me.
Yeah.
I worked a regular job. That means the money that I'm making, I'm going to keep stashing that money away.
Yeah.
I don't want too much money from the business to spend because I want to pay my employees. So my employees are good. They're motivated. They're happy. They're not going nowhere because they're not going to get the same payment.
Yeah.
So it's like I always ran my businesses like that.
Yeah.
And every employee I've ever had, whether I fired them or whether they're still with me today,
Yeah.
I'll tell you like, yo, he's a good guy. I've never had a problem with my money. I've never had one complaint about money ever.
Yeah.
So I think that says a lot about JFips LLC, whether it's the JFips Auto Glass Repair, whether it's anything, any business that I've ever had, you know?
Yeah. That's dope. That's that abundance mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
It's a finesse though if you think about it, because like just pay more, and you don't really have to like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I look and I hate it sounds cliche, but like you get what you pay for is like really a thing.
That's
Yeah.
true though.
Like, it's
That's a
really,
fact.
really
That's what
That's
comes to mind first. Like, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, like $1
Yeah.
or $2 an hour or whatever, however like the finances are set up is a total difference in like the people that you can get. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the type I just want to pay. You can do the job. Okay, I want to pay. Now I'm gonna make you maximize on that job.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I have no problem investing in you, but I'm gonna maximize it. Like I'm gonna maximize you.
Yeah,
Like
you definitely work.
You're gonna work. Like if I got you on a 45-hour a week salary, you're gonna work all 45 hours.
Right.
But I'm gonna pay you though.
Yeah, I'm
And
paying
your
you.
check never gonna be short. And if you hit the goal that I'm telling you to hit, I'm gonna pay you more.
Right.
So like that's like my structure.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope, man.
That is dope. What's even more dope is I be seeing the JFips turn up when he be with them brunches and
Yeah. I go crazy.
Yeah,
I go
he
crazy.
with his employees. They
I do
spoil
all
right.
that. I pop bottles for him. I show right there. Okay, say no more. We going
Yeah.
out. How many you want? You want 2-3 bottles? Let's do it. I don't drink. I don't care. We buy them anyway. Let's do it.
Right,
You like
right.
sparklers, right? All right, come on. Say no more. Come on, get this for your Instagram.
Right,
show 'em
right.
show 'em
I
what
be seeing them
JFips really
close
coming.
friends. I be like, I want to go.
Yeah. Nah, we be real turned. You got to do it. Like you got to do it. It's an
Yeah.
investment. And most of that stuff you can write off anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, not saying I do it. I ain't doing too much.
Yeah, that's funny. That's dope though.
Yeah,
That's really dope.
100%.
So you also so you're also an A&R.
Yeah.
Now, for a long time, can you explain what an A&R is? 'Cause sometimes I don't know what an A&R stand for.
Yeah. So basically, with the label, right? Let's just say whatever label your choice.
Yeah.
You have like the executives, right? The executives don't like to come off their job and talk directly to the artist too much. So A&R basically bridges that gap, right? So from the artist to the executive level, the A&R works both, right? So let's just say my artist is saying like, yo, I ain't getting enough studio time. I've been trying to tell everybody I need, you know what I mean? That executive level, you'll kind of like, you'll talk to the exec like, yo, I think we need this for this artist, or just rebranding or anything to do with the artist. Like I said, it's just that gap.
Yeah.
The execs need something, the artist needs something. You're that person to make sure that you're going out to get it.
Yeah.
And then you're also that person to bring artists in, right? So it's two type of jobs.
Yeah. So it's best of both worlds then.
Yeah. So you bring artists in, you'll get paid for bringing them in.
Yeah.
And then you have to maintain those artists. So you have, essentially you're a manager for those artists in a sense.
And when did you get started doing that?
I would say 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
2017, 2018. I used to have artists all the time, like big names, like come to the radio station.
Yeah.
They used to always try to take me like away, but I was like kind of building.
Yeah.
But 2017, 2018, I kind of started my journey in like music and music management. Yeah, it's been pretty.
You
good.
ever manage like any of your friends? Are they part of the music industry? Did you manage any of them?
Yeah. So I guess the main one is 30 Deep Grimy.
Okay.
That's a childhood friend, so we're both from the same neighborhood. And he was the first one of the first people I managed. I would say about the third artist. And yeah, I mean, he got features with Lil Baby, NLE Choppa, Sada, he's huge, He got 500,000, subs, 400,000+ followers. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, man. And it's a good business to make money, right? But what you put in is what you get.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's one of those things. But I love the music, man.
Was it kind of hard, like, 'cause obviously y'all friends, was it kind of hard, like, separating the two, being his friend and managing them as well?
Yeah, because an artist like him, he hard-headed. So it's like, but at the same time, it's like, we'll get into a heated discussion. Like, he'll say, like, I want to drop this the one. I want to drop this song this day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you and tell me why. So like, I'm the type of guy, like, I'm like an ass on the sense because I always want feedback. I'm like, okay, so walk me through on how did this, and he doesn't like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he'll think about it like, okay, all right, so now what you said was cool, but I just feel like you don't want to let me drop when I want to drop, you know what I mean? So you have like those arguments here and there. But then it's like, you know what, this is a big day. How about we drop this day? And I guarantee we'll get this amount of numbers minimum compared to you want to drop on a Wednesday when there's nobody listening to, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to like kind of educate artists as well. But you know, having someone as a friend that you manage, I mean, I will recommend it still. We've had bad experiences together, but it's nothing that you wouldn't deal with any other artist, honestly. I actually kind of prefer it in a way because you know what the artists come with.
Yeah.
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 Cause I'm a little older.
Yeah.
And so I know my young boys in my barbershop, they be talking about the local artists and St.
Yeah.
Louis. Did he get in some trouble or something?
Yeah, so I mean, and then that all comes with it as well. So that's kind of sucks because everything that they do like affects you. Like but yeah. So currently he is incarcerated, but he's set to get out within a couple years. So it's pretty good, especially with his cult following. So I mean, that's unfortunately in this new realm, that's like a boost to some artists, and it's horrible. I don't like that, but I mean, he ain't got nothing to worry about. He's gonna come out and just turn up even more. But like I say, so he's free. He's gonna sign a pretty nice deal when he get out. So he's set.
Did it kind of affect you at all? I know y'all have friends like him, incarcerated.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to him all the time. Make sure he's straight. But it affected me mentally just because, I mean, when you put so much into a person, it's like you're in a relationship with a person. You know, you put so much into a person, and you're like, damn, dude, like, you know. So it's one of those things. But nah, like I said, he's good. He's a really, really smart guy. He's gonna get out and turn up.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah,
because I didn't really know cause I had childhood friends that did music as well, and they kept on saying the A&R. I never knew what it meant.
I mean, and it's got its bads too, right? Like I'll drop something on here that I would never say anywhere else. That it's been talked about in the city, but I even say it here. I'm not gonna say any names or anything, but like it has its bads as well. Like when you go on to find artists, like I found one of the biggest artists, you know, that's in the game right now. I won't even just, you know, go into detail, right? But I'll kind of let you know, like the music industry and how it sucks sometimes. So I bring this artist to a label and I say, you know what, this is the next person. Like this person is gonna be freaking huge. And they're like, no, this doesn't fit our brand. I don't think this is what we're going for. And I'm like, no, this is gonna be huge. So then a month later, another huge artist posts this specific artist, and then that's when they call me like, hey, ain't this person that you were gonna bring us? I'm like, yeah, like we need to, you know, get her right now. Then they're like, all right, I'm gonna let you know. And then somebody else posted, and then somebody called me like, okay, go sign her. Let's get her down here. Let's fly her and her friends or whatever the case, but let's get them down there. And then it's like the recovery on the business is like, okay, now where's, you know, what you guys, you know, said you guys are gonna do, right? And you know, things like that happen in the music industry all the time, but you can only blame yourself as well, because in this industry, paperwork talks more than anything. So when you think that you have a relationship with a label, that's one thing. But then when something happens to where they're profiting a lot and they don't want to, you know, give you any of that, the funds that you really, really made, they just won't do it, right? Or they'll give you whatever reason because you didn't sign this or you didn't do this. So things like that happen as well. So those are the hits that actually like hurt. Because like when you think of how much you should, you know, have versus the work that you put in as well, it kind of sucks.
That's dope, man.
That's another gem.
Gem.
You dropping all gems today,
Message.
Fips. Yeah, that's lit.
Yeah, it is.
Let me ask you. So, like, I know, I'm not trying to bring it all the way back, but when you said like growing up in the type of neighborhood that you grew up in, do you ever have like survivor's guilt?
Hell yeah, I mean, because like I feel like everybody be thinking I own something. I'm not gonna lie, like neighborhood, like I grew up. I don't care. I mean, I grew up. Our hood is called 4-5, so like we on the west side. So we off Goodfella, like between like Goodfella, and like MacArthur, like Goodfella and Natural Bridge. That should give you a better example on where I'm from. And it's just like, man, I'm probably like one of the. It's a few of us. I got a homie that kind of like sells dogs. I got a homie that, you know, they do their own things, right? But I feel like it's some people that just feel like, okay, you're in this industry, you have to get me in this industry, or you need to do this, or you have to manage me in music because you're doing it. And it's like, no, I don't. But then at the same time, it kind of gives me like, I feel guilty because it's like, damn, if I was still in that realm, like, would I be saying the same exact thing? So I kind of fall and start doing certain things until I just realized, like, maybe in the last year or two, like, Nah, that ain't how that work. Like, I'll help as much as possible, but there's no way that I have to, do all of this stuff just because of like a status or where I'm from versus actually helping and grooming somebody and actually allowing them to put in the work so others can see and not just me like spoon feeding them. So yeah, in a sense, 100%.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got a dope story, man.
Yeah.
Like, when all them years come to the shop, I never knew, like, you know what I'm saying? I never knew,
Yeah.
like, so it's kind of cool just to see, like, over the last 7 years, just see you grow, man, to the young man that you are, man.
Nah, I appreciate it.
So from one black brother to another one, man.
Yeah.
Mad props, brother.
Man.
Mad props, man.
Yeah. So, you have any more questions?
So we usually, so now we're like at the end, we started doing this one thing where we ask the entrepreneurs, they want to ask us any questions, maybe that you just want to ask. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess for you, like, and I'm gonna ask the question. The elephant that everybody wants to know is like, how hard is it to do those hair, like the what are they called? The
Hair units?
Hair units?
Yes, the hair units. Is that crazy hard to do that?
I ain't gonna lie. So I've been doing it since 2016. So that's about 8 years now. Almost 8 years, man. Doing it 7 plus years. When I first started doing it, yeah, it took a while. It take about, you'll know, it takes 6 hours, man, to knock them out. But I'm an expert at it now, so I can knock it out hour and 15, 20 minutes, man. So
man, if you want some dreads and you ball right now,
right.
Haven, man, I'm telling you, anything you need.
We got options, man. Young brothers got options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, go ahead. You good?
I was going to say, so our last question is, looking ahead, what are your future goals? With everything that you have going on, like what's your I think, well, let me say this. I think it's amazing how you have all these businesses and you brought your mom and your sister on. Because, like I said, being in the chair, I feel like I got a front row seat to just everything. I remember stories about your mom and stories about your sister, your nephews. You always talked about the people who meant the most to you. And it's like now looking back from then and like now you're able to like hire them and just all of you are fruitful now.
Yeah.
Like I think that that's really amazing. Something that I admire. I lost my mom, of course, and just listening to that's something that I always wanted to do. So I really, really admire that.
Yeah.
So like, what are your future goals as far as that? Like, with all of your businesses that you have?
Just want to. Growing is one thing, and I know entrepreneurs always say they want to grow, but I just want to continue to maximize on what I already have. So it's not the sense to where, like, I have businesses, so it's time to maximize on my opportunities that I have right now, right? So I feel like with me, it's just maximizing on what I already got. In the future, I mean, I love to, branch out to more cities depending on which business I want to do. Like I said, in JFips Auto Glass Repair, we're going to be in Houston, within the next 6 months. So that's pretty cool, right? But we're also going to be in Kansas City. So I guess like maybe a long-term plan is just to kind of franchise. I think that would be dope, right?
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to mind.
So I love to master the business first and then like go. Like it's go time, right? I'm a person like literally if I think of an idea, I'll make an LLC 2 days later. Like I don't care. Like I'm up. Like I just don't like I'm weird. Like that's like my fetish. So it's like I really don't have many distractions like with girls and stuff. Like I don't really be tripping off this stuff. So it's like my main goal is just to grow, and just stabilize and maximize on what I already got. Yeah. And that's always been that's been my thing. So it's just like I'm going to continue to do it. So whatever that brings is, whatever it brings for sure.
Yeah, that's so amazing, Fips.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came and sat with us.
It is.
Like you just taught me a lot.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I got one last question before we get off, man. So what advice would you give to the up and coming entrepreneur for them to, get out their way and just what would you tell them to do to get started as an entrepreneur? What advice would you give them?
I would say hold yourself accountable more. I think that's probably my biggest thing. Like every time I figure out like why something fell for me, like man, it was the industry. Or, man, it was this. Or what up? Like, was it really?
Right.
Did you make 90 grand out of $1 million because of the industry?
Right.
Or did you make 90 grand off of $1 million because your numbers weren't together, or you were paying too much here, or you weren't looking at the maintenance on this, or you weren't doing this? So I feel like the number one thing is, bro, hold yourself accountable, bro. It is you.
Yeah.
Like, it is you. Like, work harder. Like,
Yeah.
be tougher. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just hold yourself accountable. Like,
Yeah.
I almost hold myself accountable a little too much now. Because
Yeah.
if something go wrong, I'd be like, damn,
Yeah.
I messed this shit up. I messed that shit up. But I balance it out by just working harder. So
Yeah.
100% hold yourself accountable. And then, like, you know, like what they'll always say, like, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
No one believed in me in shit I did. Like, people will now. Like, I can come up and be like, you know, I'm about to start selling cameras. And be like, oh, JFips. But like, they call me weird for everything. They called me weird when I wanted to be on the radio. They told me I was stupid for working a corporate job.
Yeah.
They told me the trucking business wasn't gonna work. They even my glass company, they're like, who gonna buy glass?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I need 3 more technicians.
Yeah.
Who ain't buying glass is the question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So believe in yourself and bro, hold yourself accountable, bro.
Yeah.
Like you did that.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say those are my 2 things.
That's
Yeah.
dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. We had a dope podcast, my man.
Yeah.
Nah, this dope, man.
Yeah,
This dope.
yeah.
This definitely y'all have fun. I done been on podcasts. People ask me like the weirdest stuff.
Right,
They be like, bro,
oh.
like what they got to do with me being an entrepreneur though? Like, you know, y'all have fun. So turn
Yeah.
up, man.
No,
Thanks,
turn up,
Fib.
man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Till
Same
next
to
time,
you.
man. Till next time.
All right, guys.
One love. Appreciate
Bye.
y'all, man.